The tiny nation of Kiribati in the Pacific is expected to be the first country to be completely lost to climate change. There are predictions that Kiribati will be entirely underwater within 50 years. Its leaders are at the Copenhagen summit where they're pleading for the world's help. New Zealand correspondent Kerry Ritchie reports.
100,000 people live on these low-lying coral atolls which make up Kiribati.
There is a serious threat to our very own existence as a people and as a nation. People are trying to grapple with this thought. Are we really going to lose our home?
Whenever there's a storm in Kiribati, waves crash into homes. A whole village recently relocated after the graves of their ancestors were washed away. Seawater is killing crops and has got into the drinking supply. For 30 years, Wellington photographer Tony Wincup has been capturing the changes in the nation's climate, and he's clearly tracked the tiny island's demise.
Whichever way climate change goes, rising sea level, changes in temperature, changes in weather patterns of violent storms, they are hit every which way.
The country's president and the climate change spokeswoman want Australia and New Zealand to offer a safe haven from the rising sea. They're also asking for the Australian government's help to provide skills training for their people so they can get a job anywhere when the time comes to leave Kiribati.
We do not want to relocate as environmental refugees. We want to be able to relocate on merit and with dignity.
Academic Jonathan Boston says specific migration policies must be put in place.
Refugees coming by boat to either Australia or New Zealand is not something that fills politicians with great enthusiasm. Probably most politicians really want to run a mile from that kind of issue.
The people of Kiribati are praying something concrete comes out of Copenhagen. They're also hoping that when the time comes and they have to move to places like Australia and here in New Zealand, that they can find a way to hold on to their culture and identity. Kerry Ritchie, ABC News, Auckland.